Hello, I'm Marietta Evans and I want you to come with me for a walk around the Royal Victoria Gardens. If a Dockeroa sailor would have wanted to go for a walk instead to a pub, he could have done that in a beautiful place not very far from here, the Royal Victoria Gardens.
Pavilion Gardens was built in 1850, opened 1851, and it was run by an entrepreneur called William Holland, who was a fantastic, larger-than-life character, sort of Brian Blessed of the 1880s, if you like, who promoted competitions, dance contests, drinking contests. It was a beer garden. It was a pleasure palace. It was a place of entertainment, and Londoners flocked out of London, especially at weekends, to the Royal Pavilion Gardens. Over the years, it became a bit unsavoury, and funding was found so that London could take it over as just an ordinary park, not a pleasure garden.
Victoria Gardens, or the Royal Victoria Gardens, or Up the Park as we always refer to it, has so many happy memories. From a baby, I was taken there, and the young mums would take the children for the day, load up the big prams, sandwiches and drinks, and you'd spend the whole day. So the mums would sit and chat on the grass and the children could play. There was the paddling pool, there was the huge big sand pit.
Oh, wonderful place, absolutely wonderful place. Yeah, 6 weeks holiday, spent many days down there with our jam sandwiches and bottle of sherbet water made up to be lemonade. But you didn't get up into any trouble because as kids we used to have a lady down there, I can't remember her name. Where the swing park area is, there was a little cabin and there was a lady in there, and she was the first aid lady, and she looked after you in the swing park area.
The lady, Lil, in the little hut that was there to look after you or if anybody got hurt.
She was there and everything was iodine. So you always came back with these horrible brownie, orangey coloured legs.
The 6 weeks holiday, you would be in the park all day with your friends, going up and down onto the shore to throw stones and mudlarking and finding things hidden on the shore.
We had a sand pit, we had a swimming pool, a paddling pool that I don't think was emptied every day.
But I did used to go down there regular to paddle. That was about it, really. And maybe piddle.
And then you had the parkie. The parkie was a man that used to wear a big brown hat, and everyone was frightened of the parkie. So you never got up to any wrong because you knew the parkie was going to be there. And if the parkie did catch you, you didn't do it a second time.
How special did it make it, the fact that it was a riverside park next to the docks? Because I guess then it was an ideal place from where to spot ships coming in and out whilst being in the park.
On the higher level, they had a cafe up there, and you were really lucky if you went in the cafe and had a cup of tea, which was something that every now and again my mum and dad would get me and John dressed up and we'd be going down to the park for a cup of tea. You thought it was the Ritz, you really did, but it was a park cafe.
The actual front looked straight onto the Thames, which it was a nice spot to go and watch the ships pulling in and pulling out, and as a youngster, lovely spot. It was a nice garden.
You don't really know how lucky you was as a youngster. You know, all you could see was water and a ferry going across and all this. Didn't really take much notice. But as life has gone on, you know, you then realise, wow, you know, we were sort of like lucky to have all this.
So generations of locals remember Royal Victoria Gardens. It's still there today, thank goodness. It's been I remember walking down there when I was young, and you could look out and see the ships in the river. Now, of course, because of the flood risk, the embankments had to be built up. You have to go up on the embankment. But so many of the things that are around that area have closed. The Pavilion Hotel's gone. Nearly all the pubs in the area are gone. A lot of the houses have disappeared and been rebuilt. But that is one enduring feature, and so many people recall it with such a lot of pleasure. It's great that it survived.
My husband's over there every day. He walks the park every single day, regardless of the weather. He goes there and we're always over there with the children. I mean, they've opened up St John's Green now, so we go between St John's Green and Royal Victoria Gardens. And even our children that come over from Hertfordshire, when you say to them, right, what we're going to do today, it's, oh, we'll go down to Mansell's first, and then we'll go up to they call it Vicky Park. We'll go up to Vicky Park.
Saturday evenings we always used to go as a family quite late to the park, just before the whistle would go or the bell would go to say it's closed, and then from there go into the pavilion to have a drink in the pub and sit on the veranda by the river. I mean, I think it is and still is a beautiful park, and we've taken our children and we take our grandchildren back there regularly. I mean, it's just, for me, it's home. I just love the park, and feel really at peace when I'm there.